following on from the Flavourly box and then the Lidl comparison, today I went and bought 10 beers from Aldi. This little lot came to £11.88 for 10 beers. And there's the almost kind of like traditional, I suppose, pale ales, American pale, some hoppy things, a lager, then a grapefruit IPA and an orange infused IPA. So these will be the ones that will be eventually kind of tallied up against the Elvis juice and Clockwork Tangerine. I'm not going to go into all the details about these now. I'm going to go through them as I drink them to save doing another 1 hour long video. So without ado, let's get going. Hang on, what's going on over there? Oh, look. Ooh. Hello. They're intrigued. They're looking at all the skeletons and things. They're intrigued. Perhaps I should tell them it's ever so boring. We're only doing a beer review. Right, back soon. First up is the Odyssey lager. Look at that, Lunar Lager. And this, I think, I can't remember how much it was. I'll stick it up on screen. It's 4.6. It's got lots of spacemen and spacecraft and stuff. Don't know what we can make of that. Let's see what it's like. Oh, in a glass. Today's glass is going to be a Magic Rock glass. You know what? I need to learn how to pour a beer properly, don't I? Let's come back in a minute. I'm not sure I can complain about this one not giving me enough head. Look at that. And as I expected, that is beautifully crystal clear. And the reason I expected that is because my suspicion, to try and get out of the wind, if I can get out of the wind, my suspicion is that Aldi and Lidl both go to a contract brewer, a white label brewer, and that will be a big commercial brewery that will use a centrifuge to clear their beer. So let's see what it tastes like. Let's go back over and do a close-up on the can while I do my taste. Well, that went down nicely. It's a nice, clean, nicely hoppy, not offensive at all lager. And for whatever that was, a quid, I think that one, 99p quid. I will have put it up on screen, but I haven't looked, if that makes sense. It's got that smell. I don't know if this will make any sense, but it's got that nice reminiscent smell of the first lager that you probably had as a kid. Just a standard, hang on, I'm not sure how to describe it. Yeah, I don't know, a lagery taste. It's a fucking good job I'm not a beer judge, isn't it? I've got all of the BJCP and the Cicerone stuff, and you know, beer tasting guide and all that sort of stuff upstairs means fuck all to me, I'm afraid. I'm not really that cultured, I have to say. I can be cultured in some ways, but I'm not really a beer. You know, I'll leave that to people who really know what they're talking about. But that, as far as I'm concerned, it's a perfectly serviceable lager, and I wouldn't turn that down. And for £1, yeah, good. So, good start with the Lunar Lager, and probably I'd hazard a guess this will be the most interesting can of them all. So yes, that's a thumbs up for the Odyssey. Cheers. The light's not the best in here, I'm afraid. Next up is the Halfpipe, which has got a picture of a skull on a skateboard. Fantastic. Session IPA, 3.9, where is it on there? Somewhere 3.9%. And oh god, I'm really gonna have to zoom in, give you a touch of what it's got hop wise. It says Cascade, Goldings, Admiral, Centennial, and Columbus. So this is much more of a let's put the glass there. This is more of a sort of kind of like a traditional type IPA, which is good. It says it's a session pale. It's definitely session strength. Let's have a little look and see if I can pour it without too much froth. Unfortunately, like most of these, I think they're all probably carbed to the same profile. I'm just going to have to pour it really slowly. It's not got a bad colour for an IPA. It's got a very acceptable colour. Right. Gonna have to mop that up in a minute. Clumsy. But yeah. And this is another one of those 99p ones. Nicely carbed, not massively overly carbed. Either that or I've even though I've managed to knock all the carb out of it. Nice colour. Let's have a sniff. Yeah, to say it's got all those hops in there, it's not got a massive hoppy nose. And it's not got, I mean, it's not bad, but I don't know, it's quite, Alright, I'm not sure about this. I think it's probably trying to be something that it isn't. It's drinkable. It's not massively, it's not hoppy as in, it doesn't really bring out the hops in the beer. It's all right. Again, definitely been for a centrifuge. Look at that. I mean, that is just too clear. There's no way you get a beer that clear without chucking it for a centrifuge, and only big contract breweries have a centrifuge. Or, you know, larger breweries like Vocation use one now, but yeah. It's all right. I'm still trying to get something on the nose, and it just doesn't, it's not giving up on the nose. It's not there. It has got good head. It's got a nice creamy, so the first two from Aldi I think have done okay head wise. That's all right, but it's not one of those that I would really, I wouldn't go for it again, but it's okay. Number 3, Hacienda. And yeah, that branding, one might be confused into thinking it's something to do with a certain music venue in Manchester, but it's made in Scotland. Yeah, it's inspired by music, etc. And blah blah blah. Hoppy haze with a well poured addition of Southern Cross, hop rocket infusion of mosaic. Yeah, in a cold tank. This beer is citrus and peach pleasure bomb. It is 4.8%, and it's just billed as an IPA or as a pale ale. So not a lot more to say on that. Let's get it in the glass, shall we? But I'm going to do this with 2 hands, so back in a minute. Again, beautifully pure. Look at that, crystal clear. Love it. Right, what's it smell like? Well, it's got a fairly citrusy, fresh smell. Not bad head. That's all right. See what it glugs like. All right. Do you know that is quite passable? It has got that fruity, citrusy, but it's not overpowering. It's not like a, you know, like a full-on fruity, juicy IPA. It's not massively dry. It's got a nice bitterness to it. It's got that hoppy, that slightly hoppy aftertaste. I can't remember what hops it said was in here. So it's got a mosaic. Yeah, I can dig that, certainly. Yeah. All right. I don't know about Southern Cross, but yeah, I mean, it's all right. It's I can definitely, yeah, I'm getting a mosaic. I can pick the mosaic out of that. That's not bad. Let's have a yeah, right, that is drinkable. Yeah, certainly it's got a bit of depth to it. It's got some flavour. It's got a balance on there. Hoppy, yes. I'm not sure how to use the term astringent. I might have to go and look that up and see whether that is appropriate for this. But yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I'd buy that one again. Ooh, another day, another Aldi beer. This is their stateside IPA from, and I'm going to guess that Buckhorn Brewery is another one of these white label commercial breweries. Loads of hops, including Citrus, Summit, Nelson Sauvin, all of the usual pile 'em high number of hops, and it's 5.5%. Let's have a little look. Now, it says stateside IPA. I don't know really whether they mean it's a New England style IPA or a West Coast IPA. It's definitely not a New England style IPA. It's got a lovely colour, but it's as clear as a whistle. So it's another one of these. It will be I reckon a white label commercial brewery with a centrifuge. It's not clouded up, that is actually now just condensation on there. So let's have a little sniff and a little whiz. Well, it smells fresh enough. It's got a slightly tobacco-y, slightly citrusy. Yeah, that's not at all offensive. Let's see what it tastes like. Well, that's fruity. That is definitely fruity. You can definitely get some of those hops that they've bunged in there. Yes, that is quite palatable. It's a little bit bitter on the aftertaste, a little bit sharp, but not unpleasantly so. Quite refreshing, definitely getting some fruity citrusy bits out of that. Yeah, all right. Well, I think that one was £1.25, and that's all right. That's not something that I would turn down. Good. So that's the own brand Buckhorn Brewery stateside IPA, and that's okay for an IPA. Hey, next up, I've been out planting seeds. Next up is the Freak Ale Works Phantom Pale Ale. Ooh. Made in small batches, of course, of 10,000 hectolitres, using Citra, yep, Mosaic, Topaz, interesting, Ella, and Galaxy hops. Well, Galaxy's going to be the interesting one here. I don't know about Topaz, Ella, whatever, but Galaxy is that's an Australian hop, and it is pretty good. Well, 2016 was the best. All hops have a vintage like their year. Anyway, this is a Phantom Pale Ale from Freak Ale Works, and it's, I don't know, it's an interesting can. Obviously designed by someone who has some very, very good marijuana. Right, so let's get it in the glass and get outside and see what we think. Ooh. Yeah, let's see if that head lasts. While we let that die down a little bit, let me just show you what a beautiful evening it is. Look at that. How idyllic is that, boys and girls? What a wonderful evening. And now is the time to test this little beauty. I think this is one of the 99p ones. If it's not, it's £1.25. All these are fairly kind of like pretty much the same. Yeah, it's got a nice enough colour. Let's see what it's like on the nose. Again, it's strange. It's got a sort of like a kind of tobacco-y hint on the nose. That is well strange. And I'm stood in a different place. I was down there before, so it's not me, and it's not where I was stood. Alright, let's give it a whish. Oh, well, that's 4.8%. And you know, I've definitely got the Galaxy coming out of there. That is a very, very capable little brew. Bloody hell! Right, that's a surprise. If you read, there's a book called Tasting Beer, which is about, strangely enough, tasting beer. And it says to taste beer properly, you need to get your mind into tasting mode rather than drinking mode. And to do that, give yourself little keys, like swizz it round in the glass anti-clockwise at 45 RPM. And that puts your brain, once you get used to doing that for a bit, that puts your brain into tasting mode rather than drinking mode. Let's have another go. Strange, I'm still getting kind of woody, tobacco-y. And those Galaxy are beautiful. That I'm going to mark up. That is a very, very nice drink. So that's the Freak Ale Works Phantom Pale Ale. Very, very good. First of the 440 cans. This is the Founder's Batch. It's called the Hop Stepper. Whoa. And it has got where are we going? First Gold, Summit and Chinook. And because we're on the boat, actually it's probably not a good idea having a glass there because it'll be at an angle. So we'll pop that on the step and we will then have a little look-see. Right, so this is whatever I called it. Looks like this is going to be more of a kind of traditionally IPA, like a double hopped IPA. Hop forward. It's 4.5%. Let's see what we think. Well, it's a nice enough colour. Very rich colour. It's got reds and that in there. And being distracted, it has got a reasonable head. Yes, I quite like a reasonable head. Fucking hell. I'm not re-recording this, I'm just going to carry on. Okay, got, yeah, definitely hoppy on the nose. Not massively inspiring on the nose. I'm going to do that, actually there's a bit too much in there. You should really only have the glass about a third full for tasting. But it's alright, it's clean enough. What's it taste like? That's strange because it's not as hop forward as I was expecting, but it is hoppy, it's nice and hoppy, it's quite malty as well. It's not very bitter. Yeah, it's a little bit biscuity. Now bear in mind, please, that I haven't really got a fucking clue what I'm talking about. I'm not one of these, yeah, I'm not an expert beer taster. I always try and say, I understand what the BJCP stuff, you know, the beer judging certification program. I understand it, and I understand the Cicerone accreditation, but I would never, I would never sort of class myself as being someone who knows what the fuck he's talking about when it comes to tasting beers. You know, I'm a drinker who knows what he likes. This is all right. Now, I'll have another little taster. It's nice enough. It's a bit biscuity. But this is one of the £1.59 cans. And I'm not convinced it's any better than those last two, you know. In fact, that last one I thought was outstanding. With a Galaxy. Was that the Phantom IPA? I thought that for... Now, I'm not sure whether, because Aldi doesn't actually put the names on the receipt. I'm not sure whether that was a 99p or £1.25. I would need to go back and check. But if it was 99p, that is the bargain of the century. This is all right. Not as good as that though. Have another taste, see what I think. No, sorry. Sadly, it's not as good as those last two, which is a great shame. It's okay, but £1.59, cheap enough, but compared to the others, no. Moving not quite so swiftly on, because, you know, I might have been a little bit unfair on this. The whole point of this video, put that down there, the whole point of this video is really to do a comparison with the Flavourly box. Oops. Ooh. It's all right. £1.59, 440 millilitres. I might have been a bit unfair on that. I don't know. This is the other £1.59 one. Hop till you drop, triple hopped. And it has, what have we got in here? Batches, Citra, Summit and Galena. Alright, well, let's see how we go with this one. 4% this, which is probably just as well, otherwise I'm going to be fucking slaughtered by the end of tonight. It's not even 9 o'clock yet. So, let's get this poured. Hopefully, without overheading it. Right, so this is hop till you drop, triple dry hopped, and it's another one of those massively clear ones. This is condensation, but it is, if you saw it as I was pouring it, very, very clear. It's not got a bad head. Not doing it. Let's see what it smells like. Instantly, it's got a kind of strange citrusy. I don't know if they've just massively bunged in loads of citra. But what I might try and do, it's at an angle, I'm running the risk of knocking the glass over here. There we go. Let's put that just to show you just how, not brilliantly show you, but how clear it is. So again, definitely centrifuge. Right, let's see what it tastes like, shall we? It's 4%. Sessionable. Kind of getting a little bit of citra out of that. Not masses. I'm wondering. Let's pop that down for a second. I'm wondering. It doesn't actually say, does it, any things? But I think I can taste Galena. Possibly Summit as well. Now that's an interesting little brew. That's now got me. It's got me going. Ooh. It's actually quite nice. This, compared to the others, was not as good value. When I say the others, I mean the others from Aldi. I would not have been upset to have got this quality of beer in the Flavourly box. Has to be said. So I might have been a little bit unfair on that. This, however, this is fine. And obviously, you know, they're both off the same commercial contract brewer, brewed for Aldi from the hop foundry. That's all right. 4%. That's a really reasonable beer. Yes, I'm not going to fault that. That's good. I recommend that. Yeah. Tops. Filming these tasting things, as I do over a number of days, is interesting in that today's been the hottest day of the year so far. It's Wednesday the 20th, and the last 3 beers I've got are the fruity sorts, and this is a Innocent Gun. It's their Mango IPA. It's 5.6%, and it says it comes with its own soundtrack, but we're not going to listen to that. What we're going to do is whack it into this glass, into this Cloudwater glass. I hope Cloudwater aren't too disappointed with me doing that. And then let's see how we go. Short break while I let the head subside. This is holding its head very, very well. Now, this is not one of the white label. This is a Innocent Gun, a well-known brewery based in Edinburgh. So it would have been quite nice if Flavourly, also being based in Edinburgh, had a couple of theirs in there, but they didn't. What's it like then? Let's have a snort and then a bit of a glug. Like the first thing you get, yeah, massive nose full of mango. That is rather lush. Right, taste it. That is bursting with. You could bite into a mango and get less of a flavour. Yeah, okay. Let's what can you say about this? It is very, very fresh, and yet very, very kind of deep with that mango. Quite hoppy as well. There's a really interesting blend of hops coming through, which I can't, because I'm not right cultured. I can't tell you what they are. I'll probably have a guess. I should imagine there's some Citra and Mosaic in there, probably a bit of Simcoe, don't know. I could probably find out if I had a look. It might even be on here somewhere, but anyway, that's irrelevant. That is a nice beer. Phew. Oh yeah. Yeah, nicely rounded. It's got a really quite dry finish to it. Yeah, blimey, what can you say? Not too sure how much this one was. I know the most expensive ones were £1.59, so this is under that. This is probably around £1.25, which I think is good value. I'll whack it up on screen. But Innocent Gun, Mango on the Run, Mango IPA. Yes, Aldi, another winner. Down to the last two, and I'm actually feeling slightly disappointed because I've been enjoying this lot. Don't get me wrong, it's not that I didn't enjoy the Flavourly, I just didn't think it was right good value and there wasn't a very good selection. So this now with the Aldi and Lidl has been wonderful. This is Shake the Tree, orange infused. That's the grapefruit. This is the orange infused, and it's 4.2%. Guessing this is going to be something similar to Clockwork Tangerine. What a beautiful evening, absolutely fantastic. So, and it's got that colour, it's definitely got the colour. So again, this is the Hop Foundry, which I'm guessing is a white label for Aldi, and I can smell this from here. This is the smell I'm getting is quite literally the smell that you would get from peeling an orange. It seems a bit futile putting it on the nose. Surprisingly, it's not as strong on the nose. A very strong whiff as I was pouring it, not as strong on the nose. Beautifully clear. Let's give it a taste. That's not as orangey as I was expecting. It's got a nice subtle orange aftertaste, but it's nowhere near as heavily orange as I thought it was going to be. She's kind of sweet. Sorry, distracted. Right, what do we think of that? Just pause that for a second while the spice heads go away. Right, what do we think? We think that's not bad. That's what we think. It's not massively orangey, so it's not really a contender for the Clockwork Tangerine, but it's perfectly fresh and serviceable for a warm summer's evening. Yeah. All right, I'll go with that. That's nice enough. Back in a minute while we do the last one, which is not a white label, I don't think, but it is another Scotland, Scottish brewed beer. So we're back with that in a minute, but for now, shake the tree. Yeah, can't fault that. If anything, it's a little bit tart on the aftertaste. It's not uninspiring and it's not offensive. It's all right. It's okay for whatever it was, 99p, £1.25, whatever it was. Yeah, I can live with that. Last one, and I'm actually slightly disappointed that it's the last one. I have thoroughly enjoyed this this little £11.88. 10 beers, £11.88. You know, you'd be hard pressed to get a couple of pints in Sheffield for that. Anyway, this is a 5.5 William Brothers Rubus Grapefruit IPA, and obviously the question is going to be, because it's a grapefruit IPA, let's zoom out a little bit, how does it weigh up against Elvis juice? Well, let's pour it and see. Try and pour it reasonably slowly. Not that that helped at last time. It's been a beautiful day today. It's still very, very warm, and there's quite a heavy breeze. In fact, a very heavy breeze. I'm in the shelter here. I fucked that up, haven't I? It's that sort of like warm breeze that you get kind of like in southern Spain or the Canary Islands, or actually no, it's the warm breeze that you get in Morocco, where you've got that really hot day, and then just as it's starting to cool down, you get that warm breeze, which then at about 9-10 o'clock at night changes to be critically cold because there's no cloud. Look at that up there. Isn't that beautiful and idyllic? And yeah. Right. I'm going to wait until that head's dissipated a little bit, I think, because there's still loads more in can. Sorry, I've been a complete tit there in pouring that. Back in a bit. Beautiful summer evening. It's not even summer. One of the criticisms I've had about a lot of these beers is they just don't give really good head. But of all the beers, I think Aldi selection has done better than Flavourly or Lidl. It's difficult to pick between Aldi and Lidl in terms of value because they're both exceptionally good value. So anyway, let's now get stuck into the Rubus and see how it compares to something like the Elvis juice. Well, that is definitely a contender as far as the grapefruit is concerned, but it's slightly more dank. It's not as lively and fresh and effervescent and zingy and whatever as the Elvis juice, but it's all right. In fact, it's worthy, but it has got that slightly malty dankness. I can't quite put my finger on it because I don't have, as yet, the beer taster's vocabulary to be able to explain that flavour, but you definitely notice it. It isn't Elvis juice, but in its own right, as an IPA, it's all right. I'm not sure what that initial aftertaste hit is. It doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't fit any of the standard taxonomy that I have for tasting. I'm sorry, distracted. But again, for whatever that was, 99p, that's a good little buy. Yeah, I'm good with that. It's not as nice as the one I made, but I put a lot of time into it and used the recipe that BrewDog put out. But yeah, that's all right. Slightly dank, dry afterwards. Not a bad grapefruit. If you like grapefruit IPAs, not sure you'd be disappointed with that. It's okay. So, to round up, so the verdict. This is one of mine. This is one of my sort of New England IPAs, double dry hopped IPAs with Citra and Galaxy and Raquel. I poured this about 10 minutes ago and look, it's still giving me really good head. But Aldi versus Flavourly. Let's have a quick slurp and then I'll give my verdict. £11.88 got me 10 reasonably good beers. £29.95, 30 quid. Got me 20 cans, but only 7 different beers from Flavourly. What do I think? If you've got 30 quid to spare, and that's delivered, fair, you know, fair do. With a couple of glasses, a little snack and a magazine, do it. It's a fun thing to do while everything else in the world seems very, very unfun at the moment. And realistically, it's one of those little gifts that you can give yourself which is fairly harmless. But if you really want to experiment, go to Lidl or Aldi and buy some beers there. Now, the point of this really is that you can really expand your tasting knowledge by getting 20 beers, or probably about 25 different beers for the same as you would get from Flavourly. If you do, leave a comment underneath. God, noisy fuckwits coming along the towpath. Leave a comment underneath and say what you think. For my money, the Lidl and the Aldi are blinding value. They're not outstanding beers. They're not the sort of thing that are going to win loads of awards. But, sorry, they're children. They're not fuckwits. Children, that's all right. I don't mind children. Outstanding value, and you get to have the type of variety that suits you, rather than 4 of the same that suits Flavourly. So I'd have to say, yeah, Flavourly, okay. Lidl and Aldi, far better. That's it for now. I hope you found that interesting. If you have, please consider subscribing to the channel. And next I will do a comparative review, bearing in mind that I'm not an expert, of the orangey ones and the grapefruity ones. Till next time, thanks for watching. Drink responsibly.